Welcome, citizen, to another Starcraft Nation broadcast. This is your host, MaDFroG, bringing you the second of three in between MaDFroG and Fuzer. So we are going to see another game of the European Persuasion. Fuzer, of course, the blue Terran, as you can see blatantly, and MaDFroG, as always, spawning as the red Zerg. Well, not always red, but he's always generally red and generally Zerg. So, either way, we are going to see a different oriented map today. We're going to see Blisteringsands, whereas the beginning we saw Delta Quadrant. So we're really going to see a strategy. Well, we might see the same thing. However, this map in particular, will definitely cause a plan shift in the sense that you got a big old back door right here. That's right, boys and girls. Anyone can come knocking on this back door, and if you don't post some sort of sentry, you won't know until they're halfway into your base and destroying your production units. So, not really that great. And you might see players react to this. Most players do augment their strategies to the map themselves, especially top-tier players. I mean, these guys are the cream of the crop. These are the ones that you fear in your nighttime dreams of coming down and stomping you on the ladder. Of course, we got a really brave SCV right there running through this mineral line, just daring any of these drones to turn around and trap him in there and mercilessly slaughter him. Of course, he will be able to scout out MaDFroG's hatchery. We're already seeing MaDFroG opening up basically the same way as he did the last time. Of course, this natural is a little bit easier to defend than we saw on Delta Quadrant because of this nice, narrow bridge gap that you're able to... You can either throw roaches and all sorts of goodies in here to try to clog it up and not allow Fuzer to do any sort of early pushing. And likewise, Fuzer can utilize Terran's great ability for walling off. As you see here, he's going to bring his barracks up front, and probably if he does the same thing as he did last time, drop a factory here. As well, you could do the same tactic right here and allow yourself the free reign to expand whenever you want to. Of course, that being said, you also don't have the destructible here. The only destructibles we see are for the high yield on Blisteringsands. So, Blisteringsands allowing for the player to confidently expand and not really have to worry too much about being flanked in any sort of sense, except for the main, which is just a constant fear on this map anyway, which these high-tier players will easily be able to counter. And we see Fuzer coming in here with that SCV again. He is going to be running through that mineral line once again, so MaDFroG not opting to pull his guys off the line and just surround him, so that SCV is a lucky duck right there. Twice just running through there. I personally would have pulled it off there. I know it would have stopped your economy dead in its tracks for half a moment, but I really don't like having SCVs running around my base free will. And of course, we do have these Zerglings chasing after this SCV. They probably will be able to get it because this SCV has a long way to go. Maybe, not too sure. Depends on how determined MaDFroG is to kill this SCV for his trespasses. And we do see a factory coming online with a tech lab. And, of course, it was a little bit of bad placement there by Fuzer, not allowing that tech lab to be utilized. We do see Infernal Pre-Igniter coming online. So this Zergling does kill that SCV out of spite and runs away. And we have the factory bringing out a Hellion. So we are going to see early Hellion harass, and we do have a Marine coming online. And as far as MaDFroG goes, we have a Roach Warren coming up. So MaDFroG opening up just like he did last time. We do have the hatchery being upgraded into a lair. So MaDFroG basically keeping the exact same build order as he had on Delta Quadrant, feeling, I guess, that this build would settle better with Blisteringsands, or hey, maybe he just doesn't really care. I don't know. I haven't been able to ask him myself. Of course, as always, he is using these creep tuners to his great benefit, and we are going to... I'm not sure if he's actually going to bridge these two bases. Excuse me. And we do have two Hellions moving out, looking for some sort of rest, and that Zergling goes down in a roasty barbecue. And, of course, we do have these two roaches basically saying, hell no, get out of here. Now, I hope that MaDFroG doesn't pull them too far away from this little gap. This little gap would allow them to get guaranteed shots on the Hellions, because if he did choose to bring out the roach into the middle of the field, these Hellions would be able to run circles around these roaches, because the roaches, not only do they have a short range, but they are also woefully slow. But seeing that MaDFroG is bringing out the nice skin carpet, the roaches will be able to move a little bit faster. And of course, we do have a Overlord over here scoping out this back corner. So really good use if he chooses to use a Nidus Worm, allowing him to basically backdoor fuse without actually having to knock down that door. Of course, these creep tumors are just being microed to a great extent. And we do see reconstitution coming for MaDFroG's roaches, so these roaches will be able to haul a little bit more butt. And of course, these Hellions are just desperately trying to get past these roaches, knowing that if they do to get too close, and we actually do see the Hellions do turn the corner on those roaches, and there's more roaches coming down. We see one Hellion go down. We see a second Hellion run down. This Hellion is running for his life, but this one roach is able to snipe him. So all three of those Hellions are able to be sniped by MaDFroG. MaDFroG going to be able to keep his drones safe and sound in their mineral lines here. Of course, now one thing we're seeing a different build from MaDFroG is we're seeing Mutalisks. So we see a Spire coming on, which will allow him to build Mutalisks. So those Mutalisks will be of great use against those tanks and against the Hellions, of course. Now, if Fuzer does bring on Thors, those Thors will be able to basically rip those Mutalisks a new one because of the AoE effect of their missiles. So if Fuzer does a good job and is able to get those Mutalisks when they're balled up, they're going to be able to do mad DPS on them. Likewise, on the flip side, MaDFroG, if he splits up his Mutalisks in an appropriate manner, he will be able to mitigate some of that AoE damage and will be able to focus down those Thors. However, that all depends on the micro situation. So that Spire is almost done. And let's go ahead and look at the income tab, see how these guys are faring. And we have MaDFroG a little bit behind Fuzer, but Fuzer, of course, being able to use his mules to great effect once again. Of course, those mules are about to time out. So we have MaDFroG actually ahead by... Oh, math is not happening for me today. He's ahead by 6. There we go, Jimmy. And they're about even on the Vespine income. So MaDFroG is able to pull ahead now that those mules are gone. And we actually saw that back door coming down. These roaches are going to be able to snipe these tanks. This tank desperately trying to run away, but the reconstitution is going to allow the roach to catch him. And these SCVs are desperately trying to fend off these roaches. The roaches are going to get a lot of these SCVs, but there just are not that many units up for Fuzer right now. So these roaches just toasting those SCVs. Those SCVs desperately trying to soak up some damage while these Marines and Hellions and the lone tank tries to get something going on for him. So we do have a lot of roaches here. And we have the roaches. All of them have plenty of kills. That one guy only had 1. Oh, that guy had 0. He's the red shirt. So those roaches really doing a good job of knocking down that back door, coming up here and applying pressure to Fuzer's main base. So great utilization of the maps, not necessarily weakness, but the maps quirks and the fact that we have the back door. And of course we do have the Mutalisks. The Mutalisks have entered the field. So Fuse is going to need to be getting a Thor online here pretty soon. Of course, this turret will be able to handle those Mutalisks. If those roaches were not there, those roaches do take down that, and we do have the Thors online chasing away those Mutalisks. These roaches are trying to run away as well. We do see them punish that one Hellion for getting too close. These two Hellions taking a lot of damage. However, these roaches being so robust with their 145 HP, able to run away without taking too much damage. And we see 5 more Mutalisks being summoned up for MaDFroG. We have the +1 for weapons and +1 for armor for land vehicles. So those Thors are going to be upgraded as well as those tanks. Going to be able to do a lot of damage to MaDFroG's units with those upgrades. And we actually see Burrow coming online. So MaDFroG is going to be planning on what looks like to be using the Roach's ability to burrow. And hopefully he will be trying to run up here and get these mineral lines. But however, he is doing a great job of using this Mutalisk harass, forcing all of the SCVs off the mineral line, trying to save those SCVs. These Mutalisks just staying until the last second. These Thors walking up, and the Mutalisks know that it is time to go. We see 3 missile turrets queued up for Fuzer, so hopefully this mineral line will be safe for him in the future unless we see a concentrated Mutalisk attack. So right now, Fuzer really isn't in that great of a position. He's got this door wide open here, and these Mutalisks are just running around pretty much unchecked. I mean, right now, let's go ahead and look at the unit stat. There are 19 Mutalisks. One turret is not really going to be able to do that much against 19 Mutalisks. So a high concentration of air forces against turrets. This late on the game, the turrets start to lose their effectiveness against a large number of air units. So they'll be able to snipe down these missile turrets without really taking that much in the way of damage. be able to kill any of these units in here that they chose. Even with them running away, those glaives will be able to chase them down, and then he could even snipe the command center in time if Fuzer had kept his units down here. But Fuzer doing a good job of keeping them in the middle, and we do actually see the mules coming in here, just going to try to do exactly what I'm talking about. But those missiles are just doing a lot of AoE damage to those guys, so they are going to back out. 4 Thors down here. I don't know, it's pretty close. 4 Thors, I don't think they can take on 18 Mutalisks, but I do not believe that all 18 Mutalisks were there at that time. Or maybe I just can't count. However, one way or another, we have the burrowed roaches coming up here. So these roaches are going to come up here unseen. The range on this missile turret is just skirting the edge right there. So not going to be able to see what's going on. Right now, MaDFroG in a really good position if he can coax these Thors to come over here. And, of course, he's going to get way too close. And these Thors are going to be able to see those roaches. So those roaches are going to die underground. We see 1, 2, and are we going to see a third one go down? These guys are not looking too healthy. These both 8 and 36 HP. Those guys are not having a great day. So now we see MaDFroG running his Mutalisk over here, trying to attack this expansion here. Going to be able to snipe this bunker and this tower right here. These Hellions rushing in here. They will go down if they do not back up. We see 1 or 2 of those Hellions going down. And MaDFroG backing out once again, trying to do as much damage without taking any damage. So great tactics when you are involving Mutalisks. Of course, let's go and look at this loss tab, and this loss tab is speaking volumes of the Mutalisk harassment. Basically, Fuzer is lost double what MaDFroG has lost so far. I'm going to look at the army tab as well. MaDFroG 186 versus Fuzer's 113. So right now, Fuzer is back in the corner, trying to get some sort of production online, trying to get something to work for him. I don't know if he's really going to have to push out and try to do something and not allow MaDFroG to have complete map control is what we're seeing right now. And right now, MaDFroG is moving up and is going to be pressuring this expansion once again. These middles coming over here, going to knock down this barracks. This one lone tank setting up. This tank is going to pay the price for his heroism, though. Boosh, there he goes. We see all of these guys coming here, just wrecking all of this. Of course, doing one more attack on that barracks, making it go and blow up. And see that little, I don't even know, little thruster kind of rolling over there haphazardly. And of course, MaDFroG doing a good job of burrowing his roaches and allowing them to utilize their rapid regrowth. What is that? Yeah, rapid regeneration. So it's pretty amazing how quickly the roaches can regenerate their health. Always a great tactic. If your enemy can't see you and you've got to retreat, burrow those roaches, allow them to heal up, and maybe you can even pop up again and do some more damage. Kind of on the par with what Protoss use with their shields. Of course, we do have these roaches coming here, and they will be able to snipe this command center. And we have Fuzer's forces definitely trying to run over here and save it. However, this orbital command is burning. All those SCVs do back up. Will this guy burn up in orbit? I do not believe so. He is going to pull it back. All these SCVs definitely trying to go. But these Mutalisks are coming in here. Will they be able to snipe it? No, they're taking too much damage. They back out. So Fuzer able to keep this orbital command alive by the skin of his teeth. Right now, MaDFroG sitting at 197 unit cap. So MaDFroG able to replenish any sort of losses that he just suffered from that attack. So Fuzer trying to move out, trying to make something happen. Going to be attacking this this expansion of MaDFroG. Let's go to look at the losses tab. So, still, Fuzer is not looking so great in the loss tab. Still really, he's been contained the entire game. Not a really good place for a Terran, especially against a Zerg. An unchecked Zerg is just going to spread like wildfire across the map. Of course, great use of the burrow ability of the roaches right here. And we do see those Hellions coming around there trying to do something. These Mutalisks are just wailing on these Thors. These Thors are being focused down, and they are going down, dropping like flies. We just saw 3 more drop. Of course, all these Mutalisks not really feeling so great either. A lot of these guys are really close to death. However, they were able to overwhelm that entire force, all those tanks, all those Marines, all those Thors going down. Of course, while that was happening, Fuzer was running through here, doing some economic damage to MaDFroG, but of course, it was just too much. Fuzer not able to replenish his army. That would have taken him a long time to replenish what he had just there. Of course, let's go and look at the army tab right there. Yeah, he was down to 46, most of that being harvesters. And MaDFroG instantly being able to replenish what he lost, sitting at 197. So game 2 going to MaDFroG. This will be going to 3. Fuzer being contained on Blisteringsands. Great counter to the mechanization that Fuzer was fielding. So as always, until next time.